Over 2,300 arrests have been made in response to the protests erupting out of the Israel-Hamas war. This is not just a statistic. It's a reflection of the tension and unrest that has swept across various parts of the globe. The reasons behind these arrests are as diverse as the individuals involved. From civil disobedience to more severe charges, the surge in arrests paints a vivid picture of a world grappling with a complex and volatile situation. Let's take a closer look at who these arrested individuals are. The demographics reveal a broad spectrum of society, indicative of the far-reaching impact of the Israel-Hamas conflict. Students, professionals, activists, and ordinary citizens alike have found themselves on the wrong side of the law, their voices of protest being met with handcuffs and jail cells. The locations of these arrests are equally widespread. While the epicenter of the conflict lies thousands of miles away, its ripple effects have resulted in arrests in numerous countries, from the bustling streets of major cities to the quiet campuses of universities. The United States, in particular, has seen a significant number of these arrests, with police forces working tirelessly to clear encampments of protesters on college campuses. These arrests are not simply a reaction to the protests, but a testament to the profound global impact of the Israel-Hamas war. Each arrest represents a voice, a story, a stance, and a testament to the depth of feelings that this conflict has stirred up worldwide. It's a sobering reminder of how international conflicts can reverberate far beyond their geographical boundaries, setting off a chain reaction of events that can touch lives in unexpected places. As the numbers continue to rise, the question on everyone's mind is, what will be the end game? Police have begun the process of clearing out more U.S. campus encampments. This marks a significant turning point in the ongoing protests against the Israel-Hamas war, shifting the landscape of the demonstrations quite literally. The process of clearing out encampments is a complex one, involving not only the physical removal of tents and barricades, but also the negotiation with protesters who have made these spaces their temporary homes. The reasons behind this decision are multifold. Authorities cite safety concerns and the need to maintain order on campus grounds as primary motivators behind the action. However, critics argue that this is an attempt to quell the voices of dissent and to break the spirit of the protesters. The reactions from the protesters themselves have been diverse. Some have chosen to peacefully comply with the authorities, packing up their belongings and moving on, while others have resisted, standing their ground in the face of the police. This resistance has led to tension and, in some instances, to clashes and arrests. The impact of this clearing of encampments on the overall protests is significant. It has disrupted the continuity of the demonstrations, scattering the protesters and forcing them to find new ways to gather and voice their concerns. It has also brought an increased media attention to the protests, highlighting the lengths to which the authorities are willing to go to maintain control. This action, however, has not dampened the spirit of the protesters. Rather, it has fueled their resolve. They continue to find new ways to voice their dissent, to gather, and to protest against the Israel-Hamas war. With the clearing of encampments, the future of these protests remains uncertain. Yet, if one thing can be said with certainty, it is that these protesters are resilient. Their passion and resolve continue to drive them forward, in spite of the challenges they face. These protests and the issues they bring to light are far from over. Among the turmoil, certain key incidents have caught the public eye. These incidents, some peaceful, some violent, have drawn a spotlight to the escalating tensions and have had a profound impact on the overall situation. One such incident involved a peaceful demonstration at a prestigious university, where students assembled in solidarity with the victims of the Israel-Hamas war. This gathering, while peaceful, was met with a harsh response from the authorities, leading to several arrests. The incident sparked outrage nationwide, prompting further protests and adding to the mounting tension. But not all incidents have been peaceful. In another key incident, a violent clash erupted between pro-Israel and pro-Palestine protesters at a different university campus. This confrontation resulted in numerous injuries and arrests, further straining the already tense atmosphere. This violent encounter served as a stark reminder of the deep-seated animosity and polarizing effect of the Israel-Hamas war. Yet another notable incident involved the arrest of a well-known student activist. This arrest, seen by many as an attempt to silence dissent, led to widespread condemnation and protests. It underscored the high stakes involved and the lengths to which authorities are willing to go to maintain control. The reaction to these incidents has been mixed. While some view the police response as necessary to maintain order, others see it as a suppression of free speech and a violation of the right to peaceful protest. These differing perspectives have only deepened the divisions and heightened the sense of urgency surrounding the situation. These incidents have only added fuel to the fire, escalating the tension surrounding these protests. The situation continues to evolve with no clear end in sight. Over 2,300 arrests have been made as protests against the Israel-Hamas war continue to surge. This figure is not just a number, but a testament to the scale of dissent and the intensity of the law enforcement response. Simultaneously, we've seen the clearing of encampments on numerous U.S. campuses, reflecting an effort to control and contain these protests. These actions have sparked further unrest, adding fuel to an already blazing fire. Then there are the key incidents, each one a stark reminder of the consequences of this conflict. These incidents are not isolated events, but pieces of a larger narrative. They underscore the deep-rooted tensions and the complex nature of the Israel-Hamas war. As we ponder these points, we must also consider their implications for the future. Will the protests dwindle or intensify? Will the conflict escalate or find resolution? These questions remain unanswered, and uncertainty hangs heavy in the air. As we continue to monitor the situation, one thing is clear. The effects of the Israel-Hamas war are far-reaching, impacting individuals and communities far beyond the borders of the conflict itself.